Hey everybody, it's Catrice Bailey from When Models Talk. You are now watching episode 29,
What
part
are some
2,
tips you can
with
give a
special
model,
guest
someone who
Stephanie
is the person
Matthews.
being photographed, when it
Mm.
pertains to, not just her energy or not just what she brings, but how should she be?
How should she be?
Mm-hmm. Because I'm
Give
sure
me.
you ran into a couple different models where it's like different personalities because you're dealing with different type of people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Okay. So here's the thing. Um, I would recommend. This is one thing I would recommend for all models, and this is. And
mm-hmm.
sorry, honey. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Um,
Mm-hmm.
a model, in my opinion, has to be adaptable. She
Mm-hmm.
has to be open to the vision that is being placed on her and to understand that the people who are bringing that vision forward um, have chosen her to be there for a reason because she's a part of executing that, an
Mm-hmm.
essential part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there have been times where I'll say me and my teams, whatever, we've made mistakes. It was the wrong model pick. The maybe the vision was too, she couldn't carry that. It was overpowering the energy she brought forth. And you get it wrong sometimes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it happens. You get
Mm-hmm.
it wrong sometimes. Um, and then there's this idea that if she can just be open, or he
Mm-hmm.
be open to a new experience
Mm-hmm.
and to understand that, when I work with a model, I chose to work with you because
Mm-hmm.
I saw something. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I saw something. We saw something when we collectively looked at the portfolios,
Mm-hmm.
and we chose you. So join us. Be a
Mm-hmm.
part of this process. You're not separate from it.
Mm-hmm.
You're a part of it. And so I use words on set, like I use emotional words, like trigger words. I
Mm-hmm.
try to find out, what gets them excited, what brings them joy, to help push them to a certain place. And it's
Mm-hmm.
different with fashion. Okay. And
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you two examples. When I was shooting dance, um, yes, they have a skill set in terms of movement and movement language, but
Mm-hmm.
you can still push that by using like different color ideas, different music, different whatever to help them bring other shapes forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes the dance photography, the dance sessions would get very emotional. You know what I mean? We'd have the music blasting and, whatever that was, and they're hitting these
Mm-hmm.
notes and, in the movement. And it was very freeing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With modeling, the ABCs of modeling, how, like, the body is like the letters of the alphabet, and the whole bit or
Yes.
whatever. Sometimes people forget that because they're working so hard to find the poses, they just stop being. And I'm like, no,
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to be
Mm-hmm.
and move however feels natural and comfortable for you. And then we
Mm-hmm.
can start getting some amazing stuff out of it. I'm looking for everyone's unique movement language. And unfortunately, some girls aren't seasoned enough. And so it's a lot of coaching that I do,
Mm-hmm.
behind the camera. And that's fine. But it, I do need girls who are seasoned to a degree, because it can be very exhausting for
Yeah.
me as a shooter to be aware of so many different things
Mm-hmm.
and direct her body. You know, a
Yeah.
model should come in knowing her body. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And when
Mm-hmm.
I invite people into our studio, into our space, I'm literally, this is a safe space. This is part of my philosophy as a shooter. You're in a safe space. You don't have to fear rejection. You don't have to fear any type of judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Anything you do is fine. Let's explore it. And then I'll see something like, oh, that's it. Let's pull that. Let's go there. Let's pull that out
Okay.
some more. Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm interested in hearing what models have to say about the process. I know a lot of photographers may not be interested at all. And you tell me and what models think. You know what I mean? But I care. So
Okay.
I can't put you on the spot, girl. I'm sorry. I know some
So
don't care about what models think. I know they don't.
yeah, that's true. Some people just like, okay, come do your job and get out. Basically,
Yeah.
not like that, but you know, maybe like
Yeah,
that. Maybe
like
I don't
that.
know.
Yeah. Sometimes kind of like that. Yeah.
You know, but I feel like as a model, I can only speak from my own experience in modeling, and that is I've been in rooms with photographers where I've been uncomfortable, and I've been in rooms with photographers where I have been comfortable.
Sure.
So, but it also depends on your stage of where you are as a model.
That's right.
So if you're confident in knowing what you can deliver and what you can do, that's a complete difference. But if you're someone that's starting out and maybe, or even you've been here a little while, but you're still not as comfortable in front of the camera or around certain people. So you have to look at it. Sometimes as models, we overthink. Like we come in thinking, okay, well, this is what they want, so I got to deliver that, and that's something that we've been working on. Then when we get there, it's like, no, just be free and be you. Your brain is still on. No, this is what you wanted, and because that's how my brain works sometimes. That's why I'm like, because I'm a planner. So I know, for example, one time I had an audition, not even a photo shoot, but an audition, and I had to. It was for a casino. So in my mind. And it was you were a card dealer. That was the process.
Yeah, the character.
And so in my mind, I said, wait a minute, I gotta learn poker. So when I say I studied poker and learned how to play, because I'm thinking that we about to play cards.
Right. No.
I got there. That was not the case. They wanted you to just deliver. They wanted you to deliver just a sexy voice of just saying we're here or something. I don't know what it was, but it's like what they're doing now when you watch TV and the girls are the dealers and they're saying whatever they're saying on TV during the commercials.
Right.
That's all. But
Okay, that was it. That was all. So you had this whole thing prepared, what you thought it was going to be. Was not.
So I think we overthink it sometimes, and then also when it comes to comfortability with the person, I find that I've never shot with a woman yet. I've only shot with men, but even though with some men I'm like they're great photographers, it's still the uncomfortableness of them maybe seeing a stretch mark or like those insecurities when it comes to being a woman. So I think it just depends on the person, but I think if you do it long enough and you embrace who you are as far as your body and you're comfortable. And I think the difference of, even though I haven't shot with a woman photographer yet, I think the difference is I can relate. I'll be like, no, well, she got a stretch mark too.
Right. But that's how I do as a photographer when I'm working with women. It's like, girl, please, come on, it's all good. We're good here. We're good.
Yes,
it's beautiful. Everything you're doing, So I try to like really soften that space. Yeah.
And I think also you said that that they chose you for a reason. I don't know if you're saying that to the particular model, and because that can be a confidence booster too, saying, okay, well, I chose you because of this is what I saw. And
you know what? Yeah. Okay, good point. I don't think I've ever. I'm not sure if I've said that.
Relaying that message.
Yes.
Because it's a comfortability net. Like, okay, well, they see something to me that maybe I'm not seeing, or I even know it's there, and I'm gonna bring more of that out. Versus me being, timid. Because then when for me, when I walk in and I feel like we're a family. That's where it's like, okay, I can actually, because you laugh with your family, you have a good time with your family.
Right.
We're not all serious. We're just here to create.
Yes.
So I think that's a different versus but there are some places where you're going to shoot with a photographer and that's not going to be the case. It's just come in here, do your job, and get out.
And it's going to be that. It's going to be that. I will tell you though, it's never like that on my sets. We're serious now. We're serious because we want to make sure it's right. Okay, because about integrity and about professionalism and look, we do have a vision we're trying to execute, but girl, please, I think you've seen some of my videos. Girl, the music
Yeah.
is going.
Yeah, she got her shoes
They got all kinds of
off.
stuff going on. I mean, you know.
She like, okay, no, let's get this right. Let's get
We're
this
gonna get
vision.
it,
Let's
but we're
bring
gonna
this
get it
to
right. So
life.
we're gonna have a real good time. We're gonna have a real good time. And the last big shoot that I did, well, wait a minute. Okay, let me just go back a little bit. So I think I went to Philly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's September, and I how many women did we shoot? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we shot 5 ladies over the course of 2 days. Because I like to get it in and out like that. We can bang out a lot if we know what the plan is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm all about time and whatnot, because I know how much time certain things take and whatnot. And so yeah, we banged out a lot of work. But I'll share this with you. So like my baby, Francine, she came down from New York, and I had never met her. And we were so blessed to have her on set. And it's so interesting because there was nothing in her portfolio that prepared us for what she did that day on set. And I'm shouting her out for a reason, because I'm so proud of her and just how her work is just, she's back in New York now, and she's just, oh my gosh. But there were a couple of models through my career that really stood out for me, and she's one of them. She's one of them because she came into the space warm and open, and just really, it became family oriented at that point. And when we were on set, when she saw the clothes, I remember seeing her face, and it kind of clicked on her face that, okay, this is this shoot. You know what I mean? We're about to do some high fashion. Okay, let's see.
Yes.
And she went into a total mode, which was fantastic. And so then I'm big on communication. I talked to Kevin about, what the vision was in terms of the movement, style, language for the different clothes or whatever. I communicated that to the model, because I'm big on, talking to them like, this is what we're thinking, and I'll show some inspirational photos or whatnot, and this is the language. And girl, that child went to work. I mean, we were standing there like, huh? Everything she did was just fantastic. And I was just like, girl, what? And then, okay, and see, here's my thing. I have a philosophy, and there's not based on any kind of science, but if I can't get my shot in 40 frames, we're not going to get it. Okay. And I learned that method in my mind, because shooting in New York, time is money.
Yeah.
When you're on these sets shooting for designers and whatnot, we got hourly studio space, we got this, that, all these different elements. If I can't get it in 40 frames, there's something that's not happening. There's a miscommunication or a dialogue, something that needs to be fine-tuned in order to get that boom, 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 boom. I don't believe in shooting a whole bunch of frames. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not so minimalist that I'm only going to shoot 5 pictures either, because I know energy builds and shifts. And I'm looking for all of those different parts of not just the high crescendo, the big, big movement. I'm looking for those in-between transitions too. And that comes from the dance world. You know what I mean? And, and it cycles over to modeling too. You know what I mean? A model kind of like warms up. You know what it is. That first look might be a burn off look, where I'm like, look, that's not our favorite look, but we're going to put you in this. We'll let you get warmed up. And it's just, that's real. So yeah. Hi, Ian. Oh, I love you.
So now I wanted to talk about service, and it's related to, because we talked about this as far as service, but related to, what's the model's name again? Say her name one more time.
Who, Francine?
Yeah.
And
I believe I know which one you're talking about, because you were saying that the photos came out so great that it was like, well, it might be her, but I think it's her. When you were saying that the photos came out so great, and she said to you, she's like, I think these photos are gonna, take my career even to the next level.
Yes, yeah. I'm so flattered by that. But remember, I think I told you that weeks before we had gone to Philly. Here's how let me back up. here's how the idea to go to Philly started in the middle of the pandemic. Okay.
Okay.
I was walking around talking about it's time to go to the next level. Now, this is my spiritual walk. I can only share with you what happens to me because stuff falls on me like that, where I'll be like, oh, it's time to go to the next level. And then I'll get a thought in my head and it'll be with me for weeks. And then I remember messaging my makeup artist, Olivia. And I was like, Olivia, it's time to go to the next level, girl. I don't even know what that means, but we got to get on this. Something. I want to try this new camera and blah, blah, blah. And let me call Kevin. And I messaged Kevin and Kevin was like, yeah. And then Kia was like, oh my God, yeah. And I'm like, we come to Philly. And so, but the work we captured was so fresh. And so so many things went right that when she saw the photos and her agent saw the photos, and, you know, a couple weeks later after the retouch images came back and she says, you know, she mentioned about the next level. I said, oh my gosh, this was about being available, being vulnerable, being there, being of service. Okay. But it may not even had anything to do with me. Do you see what I'm saying? It still does. You know what I mean? I shot the work. I've got other opportunities that opened up because of that. But maybe what was happening was to help these other people. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You just never know. You
Yep.
just never know. The life is like that. It's beautiful that way.
It is.
It's not about me as the photographer all the time. It's not. And and that's great. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We're all building.
I agree, because just like when it comes down to, just like you said, when it pertains to what I'm trying to say is it's not always about you.
That's right.
It's about doing something for other people.
Yes.
It's about helping them get to the next level. Because if they get to the next level, guess what happens? Your blessings pour in and you get to the next level.
Right. Right.
But if a person's closed-minded and only thinks about me in a selfish way, then it's like, how are you ever going to move up and elevate if you're not being of service? You have to help other people. Don't be wrong. Don't let people take advantage of you now.
Hi, Troy. Oh my God, he's so talented. Oh my gosh, I'm so honored. Hi, Troy. He's amazing. These talented people. Oh my gosh, so blessed.
Well,
but
and
absolutely,
like you know a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. No, but
yes.
it is. But see, that's just it, though. For me, and this goes to, and I don't know if we're going to get a chance to talk about it tonight or not, but I'm working on an educational series for creatives, and one of the big ideas is a photographer, for instance, needs to determine their intention. Intention is so important when working with teams. Not only just working with teams, but in your own personal work and your personal development. Intention is everything. You know what I mean? If you go into it with the mindset that this work that we're going to create, we want it to elevate us all.
Yes.
Not just elevate the photographer. What kind of mess is that? You know what I mean? I'm not even that kind of person. I believe in referring work out. I'm like referring people, writing recommendations, whatever you need. Call me for any kind of, if you want to run an idea past me, if you want to run something by me in terms of like, is your pricing on point? I need you to win. Yeah. I need you to win. We can all win. That's just it. There's some people, I think, unfortunately, who are not of that mindset. Okay? Because it comes from a place of lack if you don't. Yeah. If you don't think there's enough for everybody, if you don't think there's enough work for everybody, this tells me a lot about your personality, and there's work that you need to do that needs to be done. But see, I don't believe. I believe there's enough for everyone. There's an abundance of work that fits exactly what it is you're supposed to do. And I want to help you shine. I want to see you shine. I want to see you win. I want to see you get the big campaigns. It doesn't matter because I know what's for me. And
exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying, sis?
Look, I
Yeah.
understand exactly what you're saying, because
Yeah.
even in the modeling industry, there's sometimes you get competition where you get
Right.
people that feel like they're your competition. I'm like, no, because
No.
whatever the vision is of this photographer or this particular shoot, they already have an idea of who they want.
Right.
And if you may not be a part of that idea,
Right.
it's okay. That means
That's
you have extra
okay.
room.
Exactly.
You have extra space and opportunity to get something that's actually for you.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't understand that. That's why even when I first started modeling, I was like, competition, what we competing for? Now, don't be wrong, I'm a competitive person, but
Right.
I'm a very competitive person.
Yes, I understand.
But
Me
like,
too.
let's
I
play
understand.
any game. I'm here. We doing it, and I don't want
Yes.
nobody that's going to be not serious on my team.
Correct. Correct. No, I feel you on that. I feel you that no games because we don't have time for it. You know what I'm saying? There's no time. There it is right there. Faison said everyone can eat. Patience is key. And that's
Exactly.
it. Everyone can eat. I love it. I'm putting a heart on that myself. How do I put a heart on this? I need to do that.
I don't think you can unless
No.
you put it in the comments.
I'm doing it right there. I'm doing it right now. Look, I'm putting a heart on that myself. Love.
But
That's-
now talk about, you are funny.
I'm sorry. Well,
But
no,
look-
you're really giving me a space to be like this because I don't think people see me this way at all. They think,
But-
look, I get calls from people and they're talking about they were scared to call me. They didn't know, not that I'm scary, but that they
Yeah.
know that I'm serious. Now,
Mhm.
I don't play games. Now, look, because if you come in here and you're going to be wasting some time, I'm going to be looking at you like, look.
Exactly. Like, I got things I got to
And
do.
you're just like that. I'm looking at you. Like, did you really just waste our time? You knew you knew.
So, and from what I was hearing earlier, what you were saying was mentoring,
Yes.
and that you don't have a problem, or you're okay with that. So, what are some ways how you have mentored, and will you be doing something like that in the future?
I will always mentor because I believe it's the responsibility of, those who have the experience to reach back and help others.
Mhm.
Listen, you got to make mistakes because you got to
Mhm.
learn. But if I
Mhm.
can help you avoid some pitfalls, I really,
Yeah.
really am. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because you don't have to make every single mistake that's ever been made by other photographers. You need,
Mhm.
look, I'm going to help you skip some steps. Okay. But it's more than just that. Here's the thing. By nature, I love the underdog.
Mhm.
I love emerging talent. Seriously. I love emerging talent because if you think about it, that person who started here and got to here,
Mhm.
that growth, some amazing stuff happened in that span of time. And I love seeing people grow. Like, I'm talking about like people who were just shooting kind of like regular photos, kind of like average or whatnot. And then you start seeing spectacular stuff and you're looking like, what? What happened in your life that pushed the envelope and, catapulted you to that next level? That's the stuff I love. And I want to be there for all that. And so I mentor people. They call me, they ask me advice about pricing, they ask me contract questions, ask me, should I work with this person or that person, or how do I go about, getting connected with an agency? That's a common one too. How do I shoot more models? I'm open to sharing all of that information. The only thing I ask is that I'm very particular. You have to be serious because I found out long ago that there are a lot of people who talk quite a bit about this is what they're trying to do. And I don't see any action. And I have cut ties with people, okay, for that reason, because you presented yourself one way, but you knew that wasn't it. What you really wanted was to just say, I shoot models, or I, whatever. I need serious people, because time is limited, and so, but no, I love mentoring. However I can help. I do tea dates, coffee dates. I'm like, look, just pay for a cup of coffee. We can sit down and talk about whatever you want to talk about. Look at your book,
Right now.
where you're trying to get to the next level. Now, listen, I'm not saying I may not turn that around into a consulting gig.
Look, I was about to say it.
Okay. But I am going to really start spinning that as a part of my educational series, because that's the thing. When I roll this thing out here later on this year, that's going to be a key component.
Mm-hmm.
That really is. So I'm excited.
And
Listen to this. Success is a circle. Feed the person next to you and everyone eats.
Right.
Yes, Therese. Amen. Yes. I love it.
And I also feel like, as far as mentoring is concerned, mentoring, I think a photographer can mentor a model too, because y'all get to see, like I said, you're the person seeing.
Yes.
So it's like, that's why I always like to ask photographers different questions about, just different things when it pertains to doing a shoot or movement or whatever it is. And the fact that you were in dance and movement and everything else, that photos with that's huge. Because I tell a lot of people, well, when I first got into modeling, the first thing I was asked, have I ever took a dance class? And I didn't really understand why I was asked that question.
Hi, Yana. Hi, beautiful. Happy New Year. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
so you said you got to ask that question. Yes.
Yeah. Because after some time, it's like, oh, it's helpful, especially in front of the camera, that you know your body, you know how to move in front of the camera. Because you're here to do a job.
Yes.
And you wanted to be able to deliver. That's why I would never want to be in a photo shoot. I don't know if I've ever been in a photo shoot where they was like, I think we chose the wrong girl. I'd be like mortified. Like, oh my gosh, no.
No, but hey honey, listen, at the higher echelons, that happens. That happens. And I was in a position once where we chose the wrong person, and it was all, call the agent. Like, okay, wait a minute. You said such and such, whatever. No, but going back to your point about mentoring models, yes, absolutely. I adore models. Your job is difficult, okay? It's very difficult. And, I resent the fact that a lot of people think of models as clothes hangers, that idea that you all just wear the clothes, keep your mouth closed, look beautiful and whatnot. No. The best models are brilliant women who are thinking women, who have, a purpose and a vision of their own, who are expressive. Look at Coco Rocha. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Oh my God, she's still one of my favorites to this day. I think she's retired. She's still the bomb. You know what I mean? But it's, yes, models have to know their body. They have to know their lines. I recommend to models all the time, listen, do you do Pilates? Because Pilates, you need to stretch and be, especially when you're shooting beauty and whatnot, and all the different muscles in the face and the shoulders relaxed and just the whole, you guys have work that you do to get to the place before you get in front of the camera. And it says a lot to me when I meet a model who, through seasoning, through various shoots, but also the personal work that she's doing, that she's trying to get herself ready to go to the next echelon. I love and respect that. Absolutely.
So my last question is, because I don't want to hold you too long. I want to hold you too long.
Okay.
Is, as a Black female photographer, what have been some challenges, if there has been any challenges, but what have some challenges been for you, and as far as your career is concerned thus far?
So, we're really going to end on a tough question like that? That's serious. That's pretty heavy. Okay. I'll phrase it this way. They're okay. So if you believe that there's them in place, okay. Hello, am I there? I think I lost you, Catrice.
Can you see me? Yeah.
It here. Broke up. I feel like I'm on delay. Okay. Okay. So listen. there's this idea of, okay, spiritually being of this world but not, or in this world but not of it. Okay, I'll use that. There's a system in place, and it's difficult to get to different levels of work, getting the larger, more high profile campaigns. A lot of our industry is set up and designed to, you know, it's about who you know. And I think that goes for just about everything, you know, in life. This idea of who you know can help, you know, pick you for a job or whatnot, or open certain doors for you and things like that. So that's real. Okay. But I don't necessarily subscribe to that being how I get to whatever success is. I have to, I reevaluated and changed what I thought success meant. And that changed a lot of my life. I still can't see you. Can you see me?
I can hear everything you're saying.
Okay. Okay.
But you're just blurred.
Okay. Okay. And you're blurred on my side. Now you're clearing up. Okay. I see you. There you are. Hi, beautiful. Sis, okay, listen. I've had challenges, right? I've had opportunities that I thought were going to come my way. I've had people who I thought were going to help open doors. But for whatever reason, didn't. Okay. And I attribute that to those opportunities not being for me. So I can put those things in a certain box and set it aside. This idea that, ask me the question again. Let me think about it. Ask me the question again. This is a tough one. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so you want me to ask you particularly that question, or I'm going to ask you a different question, but in that category?
Nope. However you want to do it, but you want to get something out of me, and I'm trying to get there. And I know where I think we're going.
Okay.
But just again.
Okay. I'm gonna switch up the question now.
Okay.
Is there a misunderstanding being a Black female photographer, and if so, what is that? Because I know how it feels to be a Black model.
Yeah.
I know how it feels. I know when I'm going into a casting call and I'm seeing like maybe two of me and the rest another ethnicity. I know the different challenges that come with being a model, as far as especially a Black female model, whether I'm going to get my hair done and people don't know how to do my hair, or it's so many chemicals, or the different challenges I have. As far as being a Black photographer, is that something that you have noticed in your years, the challenges that other Black females that are photographers, if you know some, I don't really know that, but I know a couple, but you know what I mean. Do you feel you're perceived differently since you're a Black female model? That's a Ben said.
Yeah, Ben. Yeah, Ben. Do you feel you're perceived differently since you're a Black female? Okay, so, okay, listen. Okay. All right. I feel personally that the type of work that I shoot is pretty. Okay. I like beautiful things. I like sharp, crisp. I like color. I like contrast. I like a certain type of style. Okay. That's my style. I feel pressure sometimes to shoot what I think people think is Black photography. Do you understand what I'm saying? Stuff that's more earthy, more political, more statement oriented. And I follow a lot of photographers whose work I really admire. And I respect their voice, the way they see the world, their storytelling. And I don't think that I should have to be like that if that's not me. It's inauthentic if I was to try to do that. Okay. I'm saying, I'm giving you mad props. I love it. I'm just, these visions that I'm seeing poured out are beautiful. I'm inspired. It's not me. there needs to be space for me as a Black female photographer to shoot pretty things and it be okay. To shoot whomever I want, regardless of ethnicity, and it be okay.
Yes.
I feel pressure sometimes to just, if you're a Black female, first of all, let me just say this. Okay, at the higher levels, and I'm talking about like higher levels in terms of photographers, Black female photographers who are shooting celebrities and getting to shoot big ad campaigns and all of that, I can count on my hand how many there are. That's the truth. That's the truth. Okay, so it's sad. It's really sad. But again, I can only speak for me in terms of listen, there were a lot of doors that I really wanted to open. I think I told you this, what I had my hopes and dreams were for a long time. You know what I mean? Those things did not happen. And I view those as a not yet, not enough.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? I think you know what I mean spiritually.
Yeah.
A no is, I mean, I don't see it as a no. Maybe it's a not yet, because I'm like, there's still possibilities. I've still got, half of my life ahead of me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
50 more years. I don't know what's going to happen. So,
And
but there's a pressure to conform, I think.
Yeah, it is. Because even as a model, like as I sit there and think about how I want to brand myself, what I want my future going forward as I brand myself to look like. What kind of photo shoot do I, because again, I'm a planner. So what kind of photo shoot do I want to have? How do I want to, what type of, which photographers or photographers that I want to actually shoot with, because I know I'm going to get this, and that from these individuals. So, and there is this idea of, okay, if I do it this way, there's a possibility that my career could go a different way. But if I stay true to who I am and say, you know what, I'm just going to not conform, but be me. And then whatever that is, whatever that turns out to be happy in that, and be still and be present in that. And whatever comes out of it, because something's great going to come out of it. If you're being you, something great is going to come out of it. Especially if you're
being you and authentic, it's something great. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But I think,
go ahead.
But I think sometimes because we see people doing it certain ways, it's like, and they're successful at it, where they're getting the success. It's like, well, maybe if I do it this way, I'll get up here, or I'll get more. But again, we don't know their journey. It could have been a process where I don't know. I just know because in my mind, as I'm thinking about branding myself, I started thinking in that way too. As far as, okay, if I do this, then boom, my career could go to this. But Catrice, where have you been at thus far? And how did you get to this point? Was it from you being not yourself, unauthentically you, or being authentic?
Correct.
And I have gotten this far, which I plan to get even farther by being authentic, because I can't really be nobody else. If I try, it's not gonna work.
That's right. You're exactly right. And I feel you on that. I would just say this, because I'm like you. I'm also a planner, and there were times early on in my career where, okay, let's just say hypothetically, I wanted to shoot for Neiman Marcus. Neiman Marcus used to do this bomb ass catalog that used to go out in the mail. It was like yay thick. It was the Neiman Marcus book. It was a seasonal thing, and it was, I wanted to shoot for that thing for years. It just was a goal of mine. You know what I mean? And the idea is, okay, so let's just say hypothetically, as a photographer, I'm talking to photographers now, and this applies to models or whomever, okay? This is the goal, okay? There are several paths to get to the goal, okay? And certain paths will absolutely not lead you there, okay? If you're shooting a certain style of work, I know I'm kind of like sidestepping a little bit.
No, it's fine.
But you inspired me to say something. say if you want to shoot for Macy's, okay, there's a certain kind of work that you need to be shooting to get to that path. If you want to shoot for Neiman's, there's a certain type of work or whatever, or a certain path that leads to those places. But know that in all of it, just like what you said, there's also other unexplored paths too. There's no, no 3 ways to get to any one place. I mean, there's multiple doors that could open, multiple ways you can get there. You could be sitting at lunch one day somewhere, uptown or whatever. It's happened to me. This happened to me. I'm not even kidding. This happened to me. I was up on 114th and girl, wait a minute. Hold on. These people in New York can get on my neck. If I get was I on Adam Clayton Powell? Anyway, I forgot what restaurant I was at. The woman and her husband sit next to me. He was a high-powered defense attorney, which is like, okay, crazy when you think about it. But she was this amazing art curator. And I'm talking about like art curator, like some of the top, artists in the world. She handles their work in terms of, like, you know what I mean? And we just sat down and started having a conversation about just whatever. But you never know you just see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You never know who's in your space, who's around you. You never know who's looking. You never know who's talking about your name in closed doors. You don't know who's seen your work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And has got a thought about you in their mind that they're holding for later. I've done that where I'm like, okay, there's somebody I saw who's work, not now, but when something came up, I'm like, boom, you know what? There's an opportunity. But,
And you know what? When I think, just like when you said that, I get excited when I think of people talking about me in another room that I'm not in.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I'm myself. And I can only give them myself.
You can only give yourself.
So, and I like me.
I love you.
So, if they're talking about me and I think highly of myself as far as like I'm a good person and whoever works with me is because I want to, like, if I'm a part of a team, I'm going to try and give my best at all times because it's like a family. You want to make sure that we deliver and something great comes out of it. So, and if I'm struggling, that's the vulnerability of me saying, you know what, y'all, look, this is where my confidence is right now. And we gotta boost this up.
Yeah.
So, but I like the fact of knowing that someone is talking about me in another room. I don't care if it's good or bad. In my mind, it's good. It's gonna be good.
Yes.
Because it reminds me of the fact that God has me on His mind, and He implanted
always
me on somebody else's mind.
Yes. But that's how the Lord works. You know what I mean? Doors open. You didn't even know what was going on. You didn't even know it was coming down your way. Somebody had been talking about you and mentioned you and showed your work and this and that. Next thing you know, boom. You know what I mean? Because, not to make light of it or whatever, but I mean, the Lord can skip a whole bunch of steps. I mean, skip over everybody and place you at the front of the line. Watch.
He sure can. I have seen it. It has been done.
It has been done. But I mean, yeah, baby.
What is it? The first shall be last and the last shall be first?
Shall be first. Yes. Yes. Skipping all the steps. We thank you.
So,
honey, so fun. Thank you.
Yeah, so I want to say thank you so much for coming
thank
on.
You.
And I got your number now, so
I know. This was so fun, honey.
Yes.
Can I just say thank you to providing me a safe space? I don't often get that, where people create a space that allows me to feel safe to be able to speak freely and openly and just, laugh and have a really great time. You're amazing at what you do. And I'm just so honored to be your first guest of the year. Thank you, babe.
Yes, thank you. I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
I hope I was okay. Did we cover everything? We good?
I didn't say everything we covered, but we covered literally everything as we were talking,
Okay, good.
which I already knew was going to happen. And you
Oh,
gave some.
Mocha Mommy said, "Oh, hi, oh, I know, baby.
Yeah, that's one of my best friends.
Hi,
that's
best
my
friend."
Yes.
Hey, Catrice, I want to go back for just 1 second. Can you tell us some of the artists who inspire your photography? Therese Love, honey, I look at a lot of different work. And I won't name any names, but I'll just say that, I collect photography books. There's a ton. I look at everything from documentary photography to black and white to nudes to dance related photography. I look at a ton of different things. I'm always looking at images. I love Instagram for that reason. I'm scrolling through, I'm laying in bed like, oh God, love that. Oh, love that, and I do. I'm just, woo, fantastic, But again, that goes back to the idea that there is, he said Annie Leibovitz. Ben, no, not Annie so much. And I'll tell you why. I was so disappointed in Annie's cover of the Gymnast, Simone Biles. Annie's light work is phenomenal. And, but I was really disappointed in that cover, that whole series. Years ago, her work just, really moved me because I'm moved by light a lot. And my one of my early mentors, Joyce Tennyson, she's a master of light. Her light work is sensational, unlike anything, very ethereal, unlike anything I've ever seen before. He said, oh yeah, she got a lot of backlash. Yeah, she did. And I wasn't a fan of that. But no, I just, I look at work all the time.
I gotta see what y'all talking about because I haven't seen that.
You didn't see that cover?
No.
Okay. Yeah. It wasn't very inspired, but that's, it's just, it was what it was. Simone Biles seemed very happy with it. So that's all that matters. So
and I think she's from Jersey too. I think she's from, or is from Simone Biles.
Over that way in the corridor. Yeah, somewhere over there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, but it was great. And thank you for answering his question.
What cover is it?
Yeah.
Mocha Mommy. It was a Vogue cover. Simone Biles, Vogue.
We can't be getting things wrong on Vogue.
Yeah, it's happened. No, I'm not saying nothing. Okay, so I'm not saying nothing. So
we can't be wrong.
Oh wow.
He said,
magazine work is different. Lots of cooks in the kitchen. Yes, Therese Love, that is very true. But when I worked on magazines, when I worked with Monarch, we had a very small crew. And so I was really blessed that the CEO, the founder of Monarch, allowed me to act as creative director as well, which was kind of unheard of, because if I had been shooting for anybody else, I would have had a creative director on set telling me what to do. So Will trusted me quite a bit to be able to pull what I needed and to execute a vision based on his inspirations, Hey, I got somebody who wants to say hi. That's Junior.
Oh, hey, Junior.
Hi, baby.
Little big cat.
Oh, honey, I love you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And thank you for episode 29. 29 of When Models Talk. And thank you to Stephanie Matthews for coming along and giving us her journey and her experience and expertise in the photography industry. It was awesome.
Love you guys. Honey, you're beautiful. I love the work you're doing. God bless you and continue success.
You too.
Talk to you soon.
And yes, and go back and listen to that prayer again.
I will, girl. I will. All right. God bless everyone. Right. Thank you so much. Bye.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in with us.
Thank you for watching When Models Talk, episode 29 with special guest Stephanie Matthews.